Alright, all, today we're going to get our first mow on of spring here in southern Ontario. Welcome to North Lawn Adventures. Really happy to be making my second video for you. A little bit about me, just learning the lawn, learning how to do video editing, learning how to make some better content for everyone. I want to make sure everyone has a good time, learns a lot, and overall just has a good experience. Today I'm going to be using my blower, obviously. I'm going to be using my reel mower. And I'm going to start today using the string trimmer as well. I'm going to do a little edging. Haven't used that string trimmer before. It was left with the house from the previous sellers. But I'm going to go through and just make sure everything's working well with it. I'm going to do a yard tour today as well, so y'all can see how the grass has grown up in the past week or so. A lot of the plants have come up as well, so I want to make sure everyone's seen how beautiful the yard's getting. I still have the mulch. I haven't put it down yet. I'm gonna clear out some of the beds today, add the mulch in, so y'all can see that process as well. But my hope is, that we just make the lawn look really good. Right now I'm still at the process of getting all the grass the same height because I have multiple grass types. Some is growing faster than others. But all the grass seems to be active and alive right now. The grass is really greening up. Spots are starting to fill in from that winter, from the winter snow and all of that. So spring is upon us. Weather's beautiful today. We might get some rain this afternoon, but just want to make sure that we're out here in the lawn having fun. All right, guys, so let's go take a look at the front lawn. I'm going to show you the garden beds and just how things have kind of started greening up. Again, there's nothing really happening here, but as you can see over here, we have some plants starting to come up. I just want to show you the lawn as well. There's still some weeds, a little moss in here that we'll have to deal with. A lot of clover we got to deal with, some ants happening as well. We still see some of these worm casings as well, or worm castings I should say. A lot of these little plants are starting to come up, which is great. The lawn, you can see it's really thickening up. A lot of the grass types are starting to come along. What I'm really happy about, you'll see these weeds every now and then. I just like to pull them out and just throw them back in, especially in the edging area. Really easy just to pick these. That way you do it before they seed, and you won't have weed problems in the future. A lot of these are just bare patches that weeds just like to fill in, so they're plants just like the grass. But as you can see, we just continue through. Down here on this end, we are getting a lot of weeds starting to come up. I'll take care of that with my post-emergent weed spray. I'll show you that in just a second. But these areas are actually starting to fill in, which is great. Unfortunately, there's some trash every now and then, so just pick that up as you go through the lawn. But the grass is actually doing really well. It's looking really good, really healthy. I'll go ahead and show you the backyard as well. See you in the lawn. Right, here we are in the back. There's a lot more plants coming up back here as well. Looking really nice. A lot of these are going to start to bloom in the next month or so. But you can see the grass is really thickening up. Very nice back here. Perfect time for our first mow. I'm going to go ahead and get the equipment back. Or I'll start in the front actually, show you guys that specific process. One great thing that I found as well, which is hugely exciting for my wife and I. Over here we actually have a rhubarb patch. We love rhubarb. She makes the best rhubarb pie. But as you can see, rhubarb's starting to grow in quick, so we're really excited about that. I'll see you guys back in the front yard, and I'll get to mowing.
Take a look at the lawn after it's been mowed. Again, my focus right now is just to get all the grass to be the same height. What I want is all the different grass types to kind of be at an even keel, so they all start growing together. That way when I mow, everything looks nice and flat and unified. I want to show you some of the weeds I have in the yard. There's not a ton. I've seen dandelion, I've seen clover, which we can see here. Again, you can see it throughout. Some pea spots as well from the dog, but that's to be expected. I am finding another type down here. There's a little bit of moss as well. We can see over here we have this weed type as well, which is kind of like a fern. This one I don't know specifically. Hopefully my over-the-counter post-emergent can take care of this, but I'll show you that process in a few minutes. I also found this guy as well, which I'm not too familiar with, but again, it's not grass, so I don't want it in my yard. This one specifically, I'll just pull it up. It hasn't gotten to seed or anything, so the weed killer we're going to be using is just a Scott's product, Scott's Weed Be Gone Max. Ultimately, you can see it's just regular weed control. On the bottle, it'll tell you exactly what weeds it kills. Here we can see dandelion, obviously clover, etc. What I like to look at is the active ingredient, the selective herbicide. So I take a look here on this one, specifically iron at 0.25%, which means it's safe for grass. You just want to make sure your weed killer is only a weed killer and not a grass killer as well. That way you're not killing your grass if you're spraying weeds in your lawn. So I'm going to go ahead and take you along with me while I just spray this. Very easy, works just like any household cleaner. Turn the cap to the on position, spray the weed. Technically what you're looking for is for the weed leaves to be damp. What happens is then the weed
absorbs the killer, and then it pushes the killer to the roots, and once it gets to the roots, the weed starts to die. So this area is a perfect example of a place where I would use this weed killer. Technically what you're seeing is the grass is not, or the grass is starting to fill in, but there's dead areas, so weeds are coming up. And technically I take my weed killer and I just spray the weeds so that the leaves are wet. And technically I'm selectively spot treating, meaning I'm just spraying the weed itself and not active large patches of grass, because my goal here is to kill these weeds, but not kill the grass. This is a selective herbicide, meaning it doesn't necessarily kill grass, but any plant will die if it's overly saturated with any type of chemical. So I'm just being selective where I spray. And again, it's really going to be only these bare patches that are going to have weeds coming up, because the rest of the lawn is fairly thick. So I'm just actively spraying these areas with the focus of killing these specific weeds that are coming up. And it's just a light spray. Again, these weeds will absorb the weed killer, and then they'll die in about a week or so, depending on, you may have to respray, but for the most part it's going to be a pretty quick process. Always remember to wear your PPE, gloves, mask, etc. when working with weed products as well. I know I just did it without, bad example. I just want to make sure that you guys realize you should always be wearing this protective gear when handling and working with chemicals as well. Now I want to show you how I actively clean up my equipment when I'm done for the day. We can see I got my Ryobi blower, and I have my manual reel mower here as well. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see this. Technically what you're left with is some grass bits from the mow that don't get off the blower or the mower. What I like to do is use the blower to get rid of that. It basically just cleans up my tools for the next time. So I'll go ahead and show you that process. Very easy. I'll get you guys in close. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Technically, we just want a nice clean surface. If you're mowing the same lawn, it doesn't really make a big deal or a big difference, but I like to do this before I mow and after I mow as well, just to make sure my equipment stays nice and clean.